Hello again. We are moving on to talk about sample space. This is the second lesson in our unit. So let's get started. Let's define some things first. The sample space, which we're going to call U, and if you remember, that's also the name of a universal set, so there's no coincidence for that. So we have a sample space U, that's the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. And we can also call it the universal set, just like I mentioned a couple of seconds ago. So we can say, for example, that the sample space for rolling a die is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are the possible outcomes that can happen when you roll a die. Nothing else. All right. So tree diagrams are a way of representing more complicated sample spaces, especially if you have repeated trials. And each branch will give a different outcome from the others. So if you follow a different trail, you'll have along the tree diagram, you'll have a different outcome from all of the others. So let's say I'm flipping a coin. The first thing that can happen when I flip the coin for the first time is I can get either heads or tails. And then when it comes to the second flip, depending on what I got for the first flip, I can get heads or tails for the second flip as well. So that gives me 4 possible outcomes. I can get heads and then heads, heads and then tails, tails and then heads, and tails and then tails. So 4 different outcomes, and so that's the sample space for that particular experiment. So that's how tree diagrams work, and that's just kind of a brief introduction to sample space. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.